Oh, hello there. If you clicked on this video, you saw promoted listings in the title in eBay. This is Mississippi Flipper. We've been selling on eBay for 20 some odd years. Made a good living at it. It's always been fun, and of course we do it like everybody else. We like going to garage sales and estate sales. It's always fun and exciting. Back in the day, there were no promoted listings. Promoted listings showed up about the time algorithm did. If you remember, if some of you older guys and gals can think back, there were thousands of views on your items, and there might have been 50 to 100 watchers before something. On an average, it would be 20 to 50 on just about every item you had. Well, if you look at your numbers now, you'll see 1 to 3 or 4 views, and you will see maybe 1 watcher if you're lucky. This is all because eBay has changed the business they were in. They were in the business of selling our items. Well, now, sadly, eBay is in the business of selling your views. If you don't get views, you can't get sales. And eBay has made no bones about them having the ability to stifle your views. They use it as a form of punishment, and they use it as a form of reward when you do well, punishment when you do bad. Used to, we had the old style system of a feedback, which is what reigned in the eBay behavioral department. If you behaved poor, you would have a high red collection of feedbacks, and people knew not to buy from you, or at least when they bought from you, it was at high risk. Today, the feedback system really means very little, because now anybody with money can have a feedback removed and so on and so forth. But it used to be what we trusted in the eBay business. eBay has changed like everything else with the advent of the algorithm, which means AI is showing man how he can make more money and higher profit. And somehow the business people, they get lost in this business model. It's a sad thing, but I don't see it changing anytime soon. I do see eBay having great changes on the horizon, but I don't think that this trend of eBay and these companies making more money and you making less profit changing anytime soon. Most of the time the buck passes on to the buyer, to the purchaser, and it just it goes that way. Is it fair? Is it right? Is it fair business trade? Is there such thing as a Fair Business Trade Commission that looked into these types of things and punished people like the Better Business Bureau used to do? No, everything is controlled by the eBay algorithms and the companies that lay hold to them and ownership of them today. Is it right for a company to take money from you as you're listing and to sell on their platform, and then them to turn around and hide your items? Well, eBay thinks they are. They reward you, like I said, for good behavior, and they punish you for bad. I was going through some part of, I forget what part of eBay I was in, but it actually said that they would hide your listings if you didn't conform to their rules, or if you listed too many things that were now outside of their scope of what they wanted to sell. And this changes on us all the time, and that's not fair. When we started eBay, we could sell just about anything and everything. I remember there were people that were actually selling human skeletal remains, making good money. And then, so what happened? Well, that's like everything on earth. People wasn't happy with the skeletal remains they would find at old colleges and going out of business museums, and then they started grave robbing, started selling stolen people's bones on the internet. Naturally, they had to outlaw that and stop it and put that against their policy, though there was no laws put in place to forbid it. Another thing comes to mind was turtle shells. Back in the day, you could sell a large turtle shell, like say for a snapping turtle. Those turtles get to be 200 pounds and 200 or 300 years old. And sometimes the old guys in the swamps down where I'm from, they'd find these bones and they would sell them on eBay and make $300, $400, $500 on them. Well, the inedible happened, and these guys wasn't happy with the skeletal remains of turtles, their shells that they would find, and they started killing turtles. just to sell their hides and their shells on eBay. Well, that's not right either. So we can see that ever-changing rules have to be put in place, and not only eBay, but many other places in the world, because if we don't, the nature of man will turn it into an ugly thing. That being said, how does this affect our promoted listings and why we should or why we shouldn't? Well, eBay says that if you don't agree to what I call the extortion money, which is promoted listings, your item is not going to be placed as high in the search results, if not buried in those search results, and you may not make that sale. Now, some things this matters and some things it don't. Let's say if you've got something that's there's 1 million of them on eBay. Let's say a cell phone cover. Let's say you got a cell phone cover. I got one around here somewhere. I was fixing the list. You got a cell phone cover, and there is 1 million of them. Well, they may want 18-20% to get yours item sold, because all the people that's not going to pay the extortion money / promoted listings, they'll put on the bottom of the page so far around down there that nobody's ever going to see it. But let's say you got a vacuum tube. Let's say it's a 12AX7. And let's say it's not only 12AX7 vacuum tube, but it's a Telefunken. And those things are few and far in between. Well, there may be only 50 of them listed on eBay at any one time. So should you give the same 10 or 12, 15% on a promoted listings to get that item sold? Probably not. Because any guy that's looking for a particular 12AX7 Telefunken tube is going to look through all of them. If they outright hide your item, there's nothing you can do about that, is there? And I believe they do outright hide a lot of items to ensure that they're fairhead boys, the ones that is paying big money for the promoted listings, to get theirs sold first. Like I said, is it fair practice? I wouldn't call it fair, but I would call it eBay at the time present. eBay's fast changing, and we better change with it. We can biatch and moan and gripe about all this, or we can just learn how to keep up with a fast, ever-changing world, and get our 2 cents in while we can. And will there be a better deal than eBay? Probably never will. eBay will probably always be more and more manipulated to get deeper into your profits. The best thing you can do is use your head. Pay the promoted listing where you have to, but where you don't have to, don't pay it. If you like, I just listed a sewing machine on eBay. I'll show it to you real quick if I have enough battery power. Now this is a rare thing. There's at any one time on eBay, there may be 1 or 2 of them. This is for doing quilting. They had one go through last month that sold for over $1,000. Now would I put this on the promoted listings? Of course not. Anybody that's looking for this type of machine is not going to, he's going to see every one that's on there. He's usually got a watch for it. If he's got this thing, they don't make parts for him anymore, so he's probably got a watch that's always keeping an eye out for parts. This would not pay to give eBay 10% of $2,000 because they're going to see it. Now, let's say if another thing, like, I'll pick out something. Let's say that guitar amp back there. That's a PV Bandit guitar amp. There may be 1,000 of those things on eBay. Well, you may want to consider. You may want to consider giving eBay their blood-sucking money. I call it extortion money. Because the people that's looking for those may be only 5 a week. And if they don't see yours, well, they can't buy yours. So I guess we just have to smarten up about what we hit that extortion button, promoted listings button for. Use your common sense when you can, and when you can't, fly by night. This is eBay Flipper. I hope everybody has a great day out there. And if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to this channel and come on back and talk with the old Mississippi Flipper. And maybe I might have something that might help you out someday. You never know. The old man can figure out how to turn his new camera off.